Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Motherhood on the Move with yours truly, Brittany Nettles. If you're watching this, you're probably wondering, why is she still in the same outfit that she was in when she recorded the intro episode? Or maybe you're not wondering that at all, but I'm in the same outfit that I was in. And why is that? Well, that's because I'm going on vacation on Thursday, and guess who forgot that she's going on vacation on Thursday? Me. I forgot. So that means that we are cramming as much in to this week as possible. The next 3 days are going to be like power hours on steroids. And yeah, vacation crept up on us way too quick. And I don't know if it's just vacation or business just decides to pop off a few days before you go on vacation, inevitably. And clients go under agreement, offers are being written, inspections are being performed on top of the day-to-day operations. And on top of that, I decided to launch the podcast, and I want to do that for my birthday, which is July 15th. I'm probably going to launch July 16th because I want to launch on Wednesdays. But maybe we'll do a little early episode for me birthday. But that was my little gift to myself. I really wanted to stay committed to this podcast and, kick off something that's really fun. So anyway, an important topic that I just wanted to kind of lead with, which is my key to managing it all. And I think a lot of people will glean some takeaways and some tips to either apply or ponder, because I definitely get asked this question at least once, if not twice a week, is, how do I balance it all? Scaling and operating a company and also being a present mom. I work really hard to be a present mom, and some days I'm completely not present and imperfect, and let me underscore that. However, I really do make an effort to just not always be online and in the weeds with business, because something is always going on and demanding my attention. And I have this little tiny little guy at home who deserves my attention and frankly needs my attention. And, I really want to be the person who gives it to him. And, that's just my preference. So, with all that in mind, the most important thing that you can do for yourself as a working parent, or even just as a parent, is give yourself leverage. Leverage is the key. Support is the key. I hire people to help me. And while it may look like I'm a lone ranger, I am certainly not. And I have an incredible director of ops. Her name is Heidi. Shout out to her. She's been with us for, 5 years now? She's my right hand and sometimes my left. I have a teammate, Jen. She is an all-star. She is our buyer's agent, sometimes our listing agent, and also a showing agent, because she helps me out tremendously with showings and opening doors when I can't. And I also have an incredibly supportive husband. And, shout out to the solo parents out there, because I just cannot fathom or begin to think about doing this on my own. It is an Olympic sport, and to me it is not a solo one. And it absolutely can be, and I'm not saying that in any way, because I have a lot of women in my life who have chosen motherhood and have gone at it solo, and I just think you guys are the greatest of all time. And you have so much of my respect, because parenting is, and raising tiny humans is arguably the most challenging thing anyone can ever do. And Nick, my husband, he just plays such an integral role in our day to day. And I wouldn't be able to do everything that I do without him. For example, I needed to run out and hang a lockbox for one of our listings for a photography appointment that we have later today. And I was like, hey, can you cover the baby in the morning while I run out? And it took me an hour and a half because I had to go a fifth of Japip. But he said, yeah, no problem. Like, no question, go do whatever you need. And just that kind of support is just irreplaceable. And I couldn't imagine not having a supportive partner. In addition to that, we have a nanny. Our nanny at home, she's very part-time, but she is very present and just such an extension of our family now. And I'm incredibly thankful for her. I found her very serendipitously. I posted casually in a Facebook Bucks County Mamas group. I'm in Bucks County, so I posted there at like 2 a.m. one night when I was nursing our son Teddy. And I didn't expect to have such a favorable response. And I met up with her, among a few others. I met up with a few other folks and prospective nannies who responded. And our nanny, we just clicked. We were talking San Marzano tomatoes 1 minute and child sleep schedules the next. And to me, that is like slam dunk, home run, the spectrum of conversation that I want to have with any human being, but especially our nanny. Just the wholesome type, the person who just gets it. And, I would also want to just like hang out with at the end of the day. So we have a nanny. And, lastly, I have my mom. My mom has been showing up weekly to not only hang out with her grandson, but help her daughter. And for me, that's been transformational. And mom, if you're listening to this, shout out to you. I love you. Thank you. And, she does what she can with what she has. And we will not minimize that. And we love that. And, between all of the people that we've mentioned, like they're my support system and they are my leverage. And they are just the most important people in my world right now, because without them, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. I wouldn't have the time to go to the office and record these podcast episodes and support clients and run operations and run listing appointments and go on showings and, do the home inspections and do everything that is required of a realtor. We're doing it all and we're wearing so many hats, and a lot of people think that I do it on my own, and I have to admit, and I think everybody's known this, but let it be known that I am certainly not doing it on my own, nor can I, nor do I want to, because all of these people just add so much color and vibrance into my life and bring so much opinion and conversation and humor and joy. And, I don't know. I don't want to make this a love fest, but I just want to underscore the importance of having support. It gives you leverage and it just gives you freedom to breathe, to work on that project that you've been working on, to work, to go run groceries, to go get a freaking pedicure, because that's also as important as running groceries, in my opinion. I'm like, if you're a parent, you go and do whatever you need to care for yourself. Self-care is everything, and honestly makes you feel like a little bit more of a put together human being. Because in my intro episode, I mentioned my little flyaway baby hairs. I do not want to be wearing a hat on this podcast. I would love to like wear my hair down and look like a put together human being, but some days it's just not feasible. It is not possible. But when you make that hour for yourself so you can blow dry your hair or go get your nails done, I hope you take it. And I think you understand what I'm saying. But nonetheless, like, I don't know, it's just so incredibly important to have supportive people around you. And also, like, formal support or informal support. The informal I'll put under the friends category and friend and family category. It's just so important to have people who are cheering for you and people who you can openly and transparently talk to. And I was just listening to a podcast this morning on with Modern Wisdom, and Simon Sinek was on, and he was talking about the importance of sharing the darkness and sharing the hard times, because when it's dark and you don't talk about it, it just gets darker. And I'm not saying, I'm in a dark place or anything like that, but like I have my bugaboos, I have my little skellies in my closet, I have my what ifs and my fears. And it's just so important to like be able to unpack whatever's going on in your world and in your mind with anybody in your corner. And that's why I also love like the mom community. And that's why I wanted to launch this podcast to, talk about all the things that are on my mind, and maybe some conversations that I've had in private with my besties, or, even my coach. I have a strength training coach, Krista, shout out to Strong Moms. I go to the gym once a week, and I feel it's like my freaking therapy because I go in there and I don't have to explain myself. And we talk about, the, the, I don't know, the demands of nursing. It's a crazy commitment when you think about it. You're devoting literally your body to not only like growing this child for 9 months, but also birthing, and then you commit to nursing. Like, I'm so proud of my body, and I'm so glad and grateful that I've had the ability to produce milk and nurse and feed my child for the past year and change. I'm still nursing. Um, but it's definitely a mental commitment. And when you like say that to another nursing mother, they're like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. And also, like, some days it would be easier to just give a bottle of formula. And like, some days I want to do that, but I'm on this journey and I'm committed to it. And there's no saying that I won't have to do that in the future. This just ended up working. We were fully prepared to just give formula if we needed to, but fortunately I produced and the baby latched and there were no tongue ties or complications or anything else involved. But I'd say that my local gym that I go to is a major source of support for me. So, like, I'm qualifying that as informal support, and all the other moms and non-moms in my life who just show up, and my best friends and the people who check on me and vice versa. Like, that's the circle of life, baby. So just have your support system in place, and I think the rest will take care of itself. I might shift gears a little bit and get a little bit more technical. I have a lot of people who also ask, how have I continued to scale the company and scale business and sell 20 to 30 million dollars worth of real estate every year? And my answer is consistency. I have been consistent in a few areas that I know work for me and I know that I'll do. I think it's very easy for all of us to have like ideas and ambitions and the next flavor of the week, but that doesn't work. If you're inconsistent, you don't give people an opportunity to accept it or for you to get into a habit or to recognize it, and so on and so forth. One of my favorite marketing vehicles is MailChimp. I love sending out our newsletters every week. And, I've been blogging since 2013. I was a freshman in college under the alias of Freckled Nettles. Shout out to the OGs who know who that is. I've been blogging lifestyle, food, fitness, living well since I was a wee lad. Since I was a freshman in college, and I don't know how I did it, but I did it 5 days a week, every day a new topic. I love the theme. So Marvelous in My Monday was one, and I know What I Ate Wednesday was another, but I plugged 3 other days in between. I have no idea what I blogged about. But with all that said, I stuck to it. And that evolved over time as I evolved as a human being and as a professional. And now it's Nettles and Co. And I had another platform before, and I sold that, and now I'm on to something a little bit more smaller and a little bit more aligned with my identity and my values. But we're still out here. We're still blogging. We're still email marketing. We're still dropping our thoughts, connecting with people. We're still collaborating. We're still, I don't know, just talking about whatever it is that we want to talk about that week. And our newsletter, what you can expect is some market minutes, some market stats, my opinion, my experiences, what I see out there as a realtor, as a listing agent, as a buyer's agent, some big topics on hand, debunking some myths or some misunderstandings. In addition to that, I'm sharing like, I don't know, 5 of my favorite things, like what I'm cooking, this new recipe that I have, or this new restaurant that I went to, or this new coffee that I found, because I'm obsessed with coffee. Anybody who knows me knows I love my morning pour on Instagram. We also share some local happenings. So I'm located in Bucks County, and we share some Bucks happenings, some Montgomery County, some Philly County, some Delaware County, pretty much anywhere in the immediate radius, sometimes over in Jersey too. Wherever we sell, wherever we go, it's just I'm sharing things that excite me, and I hope that they will excite you too. But I think most importantly, I have a pretty similar following and clientele and demographic, and we all kind of gravitate towards the same thing. So I'm just putting out my finds there for you. And on top of that, in our newsletter, we put in our listings. So we have team listings and we want to showcase them. And, present our open houses and market whatever it is that we need to for our clients. So that is obviously very important. That is our primary product that we sell is real estate. But in between it all, we're marketing, we're storytelling, we're, I don't know, just being human beings. And I love to send out a weekly newsletter, and that's been one way to retain clients and create conversation and stay involved in clients' lives. And on that note, I love Instagram too. That helps me stay involved in clients' lives and see, when people have had children or when they got engaged or when they got a new pet or when they took a vacation or when they ate the new food or saw the new coffee spot or, whatever it is. I love it when clients call me and they're like, "Hey, Britt, my family's coming into town. Where should I go?" And I'm like, "Ooh, check out these spots." And I do feel very out of touch with the Philly like food and dining scene right now because I'm now in Bucks County, but I stay as close to the ground as I can with like new fun places, but I also have like my consistent, like reliable spots. Shout out to Mulherons. I got married there. I'm obsessed with it. It used to be like my watering hole. Um, but yeah, with all that said, Instagram's a huge vehicle, MailChimp's a huge vehicle, newsletters. And we also stay in touch with our clients. So when I see that someone made a pregnancy announcement, I'm sending you a onesie. New kid on the block, Nettles and Co. It's all branded, of course, but I'm going to send you a onesie. I'm thinking of you. I'll send you a care package. Eating and meal prepping is so hard the first week or like 5 of being a newborn parent. So I'm going to send you some noms. You're going to get a breakfast delivery, some bagels and coffee and some sustenance for you. When it's your birthday, you're going to get a birthday card from us. A little cheesy pun. I'm the queen of dad jokes and puns. I'm going to send you a birthday card with a little dollar scratcher, and all clients get that monthly, annually. And in addition to that, we send house anniversary cards. So happy 1 year anniversary, happy 2 year anniversary, happy 10 year anniversary. However long you've been there, we're still going to send you a new equally cheesy, punny card that says, happy additional year. So we celebrate big things. We celebrate birthdays. We celebrate client wins. You get engaged, we send flowers. I try my best to stay as involved as I possibly can while still like being human. And that really is just so important to me. And if I couldn't do that with my company, then arguably we've gotten too big and I will die on that hill. And they're pretty much the core things that I wanted to share as a top producing realtor and effective marketer. I think they're the more meaningful things. And of course, like you can get caught in the minutia. There's so many other things that realtors do out there, but that's how I've continued to scale the business organically, and keyword organically. Like that is just the most important thing for us. And open houses and stuff, we do those, and we meet buyers organically through there, and social media, we're a part of some Facebook groups and stuff like that, but that's kind of where we hang our hats. Oh, and in addition, we also celebrate, clients yearly. We have big client appreciation events. Last year we did Shady Brook. We did a little fall fest, and we had our clients with kids or no kids. They came and they grabbed pumpkins, and we paid for everyone's tickets, and we had some drinks, and we had some pizza, and we had s'mores, and we had campsites, and there were so many activations for everyone there, and we had a blast. The year prior to that, we did it at Middle Child, and we had like a little disco night, and we had some sandwiches, and they're like literally these like 3-foot mega subs. Like Middle Child is like arguably one of the best restaurants in Philadelphia, in my opinion, especially for breakfast and lunch. I actually haven't been there for dinner, so don't quote me on that one. But for breakfast, epic pancake. It's like iconic. It looks like their logo. It's got this like syrupy honey butter on it. It is chef kiss. In addition to that, they have some great lunch, some great brunch. But anyway, they have these massive hoagies, and we opened up the bar and we had great conversation and a great time. And that is, something that I look forward to every year. So we end up hosting client events annually as well. And some like smaller in between. We did like a clay throwing event with our clients and some pottery, and we just literally got our like hands busy and dirty and had a great time. So with all that in mind, there are some few very consistent things that we've used in our business and that we've implemented, and I hope can help you too. So I think I went on two separate topics here. The first being ask for help, ask for support, grow your village. I know that it's so cliche, but grow your village. It is the most important thing that you can do for yourself and your sanity. And secondly, if you're looking to scale a business, stay consistent. Keep it simple and do a few things really well and do a few things that you enjoy. I think there are two hacks that you can bring into your life if you're running a business and growing your family. So I hope that you've married the two topics in whatever way that you need, whether you're a realtor or whether you're not. And I hope that you've taken away a few things that are helpful to you. So I'm going to leave you with that. But with all that said, thank you for listening. Kept it to about 25 minutes as promised. And I look forward to the next episode. Thanks for chatting.